Did you know that trauma imprints on you? It affects us emotionally. It affects us psychologically. It affects us mentally, and it affects us physically. And a lot of us don't recover quickly. Sometimes it's decades later when we begin to unravel the trauma and move towards healing. So that's long after the event of the traumatic situation. And so what I've discovered over the decades since I quit my soul-sucking day job is that shamanic journeys help you heal. Because when we are in that drama recovery, it's drama because what we do is we tell ourselves the same story over and over and over. And if you've been with me for a while, you've probably heard this. The shortest distance between the truth and a lie is from your lips to your ears. And we keep owning the trauma. We tell the story over and over and over again as if it's a treasure, but it's actually a trap. So my encouragement is that, first of all, if you find yourself stuck in patterns of fear and anxiety, depression and remorse and regret, is that you take a moment and you sit with that. You don't try to push it away or squish it down. No repression into depression. And what you do when you're sitting with it is you're actually honoring that experience. Now, one of the things that I do all of the time, no matter what the circumstance is, no matter if it's making me home free or if it's creating some other thing. And notice that I said it is making me. So if my response to whatever reality is going on is like it's making me, then when I recognize, I stop, and I did it right in that moment. You know, being mindful isn't a piece of clothing that you put on and, okay, now you're mindful and you're paying attention to the words, remember, from here to here. So when you stop and you pay attention to the words you are telling yourself over and over, this bad thing happened to me, I engaged in this unfortunate business interaction, you know, this person cheated on me, whatever the trauma was, after a while, when you're separate from it, it's no longer the thing that traumatizes you. The thing that traumatizes you is you telling the story over and over and over. And how often have you noticed that someone will start telling a story? And if you've known them for a while, it's almost word for word. It's like we rehearse it and then we tell it and then we're re-traumatized and we get stuck in that pattern. But guess what? It's just a habit. And a habit can be broken in 21 days. Probably less if you're really determined. So we go into survival mode. We're locked into fear and anxiety. We don't trust ourselves, and we're sure not going to trust anybody else, because maybe this bad thing that happened to us once is going to happen again. And sure enough. So, how do you unravel that? Well, shamanic journeying is one of the most healing modalities, therapeutic, emotional, physical, financial, and in relationships. So when you have a guide, when you have a spirit guide, you get a completely different perspective on the situation, because usually it comes from, well, it comes from connecting with the divine, and your imagination is your gateway to your soul. And when you take time to sit and breathe and forgive yourself for the situations that you've been in your life that got you right to where you are now, then you have the ability to have a different perspective. Shamanic journeys allow me, because one of the perspectives in shamanic journeys I look at is, what is the lesson here? And then once I understand the lesson, then I can go about the healing. I can change my perspective. I can look at it in a different way. But if I feel like I'm a victim, then what happens is I throw the blame out there. Oh, these guys did this to me. As opposed to, I had an experience in which these things happened, and this is the consequence. And when you look at your life like that, now this is a stretch for most of us, because we're taught the two biggest addictions that everyone has. Now you might wonder, what are those? Well, the two biggest addictions are control and conflict. Now, when we're itty bitty, we are ever so cute. Oh, you're so cute. You're so adorable. That was the sweetest thing I've seen. But then when you get to a place where you get to about the edge of the dining room table, you're that big, and someone offers you something and you have the ability, you have the deep knowing that you don't want that, and you say no, then you're in conflict with the person who wants to give that to you. They want to control you and give you this. You are saying no to that, and it sets up a control and conflict kind of situation. And if you reflect back in your life and you reflect out into what's going on in the world just now, you can see that that is exactly, in my opinion, what's going on. There's control being exerted, there's conflict coming up, and the two of them are locked in a eternal battle. So when we step away from seeing things the way we have seen them, when we have a new perspective, when we step back from the trauma, and by this time it is now PTSD, because we've been entertaining it. And some of you are not going to like that use of my use of that word. But the deal is that if you keep telling yourself the same story, you're going to get the same results. And as a matter of fact, I believe that telling yourself the same traumatic story is actually self-abuse. So just have a breath on that. If you continue to tell yourself something that caused stress, that caused trauma, then you're doing it over and over and over again to yourself. So my suggestion to you is that you sit, you give yourself 45 minutes, and you write the old story. You purge that and you write it, not typing it out in front of a screen, but you sit down with pencil and paper and you write it. You write your old story. And then, and you give yourself only 45 minutes to do it. This is not languishing in the angst and the fear and the anxiety and the depression and the woe. This is clearing it from every cell of your body. So when you write your old story, it clears it from your body. Every cell feels an upliftment, a letting go, a dropping of that energy. And then once you've taken 45 minutes to write your old story, then burn it and never speak that story again. Now, once it's written and it's burned, now you can bury it. That old story has no life left in it. It is not life affirming. It's not making you ecstatic. It's not getting you up and out and excited about your life. So it's all right to let that story die. Let it die. And then write, burn, bury that, and put the ashes somewhere close to a plant. You know, plants love ash. So nurture a plant with your old story. And then give yourself a bit of time, maybe go for a walk, look around with a new perspective. You now have cleared you've cleared your cells of that body energy, that body feeling, that body sensation. Then go for a walk and look around with new eyes. See what you see that you didn't see before. So, see what you see that you didn't see before. And with that new noticing, go back, take a piece of paper, take your journal, hopefully you're keeping one of those, and write yourself a new story based on the amount of freedom that you now feel. And let yourself indulge in your new story. Maybe walk around like that person who's free of that old story. Maybe you'll dress differently. Maybe you'll be more awake, more aware. And I want to know. So when you do this, not if, but when you do this, I want you to send me a little note and let me know that you've done it. This is a huge step. 80% of people will never do this. They hold on to their old stories like they're a treasure. They are forgetting that they're trapped. They're stuck in that old story. And until you let that story die, you cannot create another one because it's holding on to you and it's holding you back. Maybe you have dreams and hopes and aspirations that you haven't stepped into yet. That old story is holding you back. So you get to make a conscious choice. And what you can do is you can choose to come and have a consultation. You can choose to come and do shamanic journeying with me. I have a membership program. We meet once a month on the second Saturday. You can join that. You can come and experience the shamanic journeys. You can change from where you are to where you want to be. And you know how come I know that? Because I do it. I walk the talk. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I've made the choice to be joyful. I've made the choice to continue sharing my guidance, my wisdom. It comes through me. And so Spirit and I are continuing to move forward, to craft the life of my dreams using the magic of shamanic journeys. I've been doing this for more than 35 years. I've had had some wild experiences in life, and yet I feel gratitude, I feel joyous, I feel beyond content. I do have moments when I wonder, isn't there more than this? And then I pick up my drum and I let the drum beat permeate every cell of my body. And this drum beat will drop your brain into an altered state of consciousness. One that it takes people years of meditation to get to, and even you as a novice can get there in just one session. So if you're ready, when you're ready, if and when you're ready, because you will get ready. You will get ready. You may go, oh no, it's not for me. It's too scary. I don't know. I belong to this certain religion and they think that using my imagination and being connected to the divine is their gift and not mine. You may be in some kind of a relationship where science rules and spirituality doesn't have a place. However, you will feel a calling. Your soul is calling you right now. If you're watching this, you've got a soul calling going on, because I'm not here for everybody. I'm here for you. And the thing is that some people will, some people won't, and some people haven't got the ability to show up. But I bet you do. I'm betting on you. So show up for yourself. Look at the areas of your life that aren't working in the way that your heart and your soul together want it to happen. And then write that story down. Write that story down. Burn it. And then bury it, because you have sucked all the life out of it. If it was life affirming, you would be doing the things you want to do in the ways you want to do them. So there you go. And remember that spirit wants your highest and best or better. So join me, join spirit, and let's align and do upliftment, especially when there is so much available to us to distract us. So let's start by, first of all, feeling our body. So take a nice deep breath. Put your hands together. Okay, now rub your hands together until they're nice and warm. Put your hands over your heart. Take a nice deep breath. And we're going to open fully and freely to give, accept, and embrace all the good the universe has for us. And one more time, I open fully and freely to give it away, give it away, give it away. Accept, big old bowls with your hands, and embrace, put it in your heart. All the good the universe has for me. One last time, I open fully and freely to give, accept, and embrace all the good the universe has for me. Namaste, aho, bliss, and in case no one has told you so far today, you are amazing. Thank you for being here. If you're watching the replay, blessings on you. Join me for a shamanic journey. Reply yes, and I'll connect you. Bye-bye.